Dr. Aishwarya Pandit, you have studied in a very academic sense. Do you think that framers of our constitution, they also made some kind of, I would say there was an oversight of framing of Article 21, Article 30, and of course Article 370, which has been removed now, that gave a kind of opportunity for political parties to do this politics of appeasement?
I think we have to look at the colonial legacy here, and that has an overwhelming kind of influence on this. The British primarily saw the natives as a group interest. They did not, you were not imagined individually in their calculation, but you were seen as group interests. So this is Hindus, this is Muslims, this is Sikhs, and these are Christians. They are blocks, they function as blocks. So we must satisfy each block and kind of govern. So over a period of time, what actually happened was, while framing the constitution, a lot of that which was viewing the population of the subcontinent as blocks was more or less absorbed by the constitution drafters. So there were no individual interests that were imagined. There were community interests they were imagined as Badri Narayan has articulated. You were imagined as a Rajput, a Zamindar, a Dalit, a Kurmi, this. You were identified in terms of a larger community. So individual interests was sidelined. The second aspect became and which he's rightly pointed out, is because they were identified as block interests, a lot of time they ended up giving tickets to people who they thought represented the community. For example, I can think of this example and cited in my book also, that for the longest time in the 80s, 90s, and right up till 2004, Shahi Imam during every election gave out a fatwa saying, I support Congress, or I support the Janata Party, or I support this one, that. Saying that the Shahi Imam, as a representative of Indian Muslims, gives out the fatwa, which is one kind of directive to vote in favor of a particular party. Now, there were a couple of things which were problematic. Fatwa A is not a directive, it is an opinion which is expressed. It can be taken or it cannot be taken. The second aspect was we were assuming that Shahi Imam represented the interests and the voices of an entire section of Muslims. So that concentrated the power in the hands of the elites, and real representation did not happen. What it eventually did was, the representation which was given by certain parties was characterized as being given to show boys. You need show boys of every kind. A show boy of a Hindu, a show boy of a Muslim, a show boy of a Sikh, and other things. So it didn't really, the democratic process became confined to these few elites. It did not percolate to the lowest levels. And that is largely responsible for this tag of appeasement coming up again and again. Because we are not really looking at the grassroots. We are looking at who we think represent certain communities and certain interests. So that leads to concentration of power in the hands of a few. So that was the problem.